Today, we're tackling one of the most expensive mistakes I see AI engineers make. You have an idea for a retrieval augmented generation system. You fire up your editor and start wiring it together. It works in your notebook. Then real users hit it, and the failures start. Bad chunks, hallucinated citations, stale data, and a feedback loop that nobody actually built. In this video, let's map a RAG idea in Lucid before writing a single line of code. By the end, you will have a clear implementation checklist. Stick around because I will show you the 3 refinements I add to every AI-generated RAG diagram. You're building a RAG pipeline. The user sends a question, you embed it. You search a vector store, you pull the top chunks, you pass them to a large language model with the question, and you get an answer back. That sounds like 6 clean steps. But by the time you implement it, you find 20. What happens when retrieval returns nothing relevant? What's your similarity threshold? What gets logged for debugging? Which outputs feed your eval set? How does user feedback flow back into the system? The point of mapping it first is to surface those questions while they're cheap to answer. Let's open Lucid. We're in a blank diagram. On the left toolbar, let's open the Lucid AI panel. We will describe the system in plain English and let Lucid generate the scaffolding. Create a flowchart for a RAG system, include user query, user embedding, vector search, retrieval scoring, re-ranking, context assembly, LLM generation, citation check, response, user feedback capture, and logging. We send it, and a few seconds later, the diagram lands on the canvas. Look at what came back. The main flow goes from user query through query embedding, vector search with a vector DB attached, retrieval scoring, re-ranking, context assembly, LLM generation, citation check, and response. Off to the side, user feedback capture writes to a feedback store, and a logging node writes to a logs and telemetry store, with feedback flowing back from each major stage. That's a strong scaffold. The feedback loop closing back to logging is exactly the kind of thing junior engineers leave out from their first RAG build. But it's still a scaffold, not a system. The AI can't know my similarity threshold, what to do when retrieval comes back weak, or which outputs I want for my eval set. That's where engineering judgment comes in. There are 3 refinements that I would add to every AI-generated RAG diagram. Refinement 1. Define the retrieval quality policy and the fallback path. Let's pan to the retrieval scoring node. When we hover over it, Lucid shows some dots on the sides for branching. Let's drag from the bottom dot outward, release, and pick up a rectangle from the menu. Let's label this new shape as the fallback path that returns insufficient context to the user. Now, we will drop a callout next to retrieval scoring with the threshold policy. In the callout, we will write, if the top similarity score is below 0.7, route to fallback. Between 0.7 and 0.85, re-rank. Above 0.85, proceed. This decision is where most RAG systems fail. The model gets weak context and confidently makes something up. Defining the threshold before you write code is really the difference between admitting uncertainty and hallucinating. Refinement 2. Specify what gets logged. Let's pan down to the logging node. Right now, it just says logging. Let's double-click to edit it. We will type the actual fields using Shift-Enter between each line. Query, embedding latency, retrieval chunk IDs, similarity scores, re-rank decision, final context length, generation latency, citation, match result, and user feedback. When a user complains the answer was wrong, this is the trace we need to debug. Without these specific fields, we're just guessing. Refinement 3. Mark the eval capture points. This is the one most teams forget. We want specific outputs flowing into our eval set as a deliberate decision. We drop a callout near retrieval scoring, labeled eval capture retrieval relevance. Another callout near LLM generation, eval capture answer quality, and a third near citation citation check, eval capture, citation accuracy. These three signals are the dimensions any serious RAG eval needs. If we don't decide to capture them up front, we're reconstructing them from raw logs months later, which is a painful job. Now, look at the canvas. A few minutes ago, this was an idea. Now, it's a system map. It answers what happens when retrieval is weak, what gets logged, and what gets captured for evals. This diagram is now a collaboration artifact. We can share it with the data engineer who owns the vector store, the machine learning engineer working on re-ranking, the product manager who cares about feedback, and leadership who needs to see where risk enters the system. The conversation shifts from, is the RAG working, to, is 0.7 the right similarity threshold? That second question has an answer right there on the canvas. When we close this diagram, we have an implementation checklist. Set the similarity threshold and fallback policy. Build structured logging for the 9 fields we marked. Create eval datasets for retrieval relevance, answer quality, and citation accuracy. That's 3 concrete tasks we wouldn't have written down if we jumped straight into code. If you're building AI systems, especially anything agentic, I would recommend mapping the workflow before you start wiring everything together. It helps you catch the messy parts earlier. Tool calls, failure paths, escalation, evals, and ownership. I will include the Lucid link in the description if you want to try this workflow yourself. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.